Hi, I'm Sophie, and I'm going to take you through a morning flow for golfers. It's really for everybody, but if you're looking to improve your swing and get that better rotation, this is the flow for you. So we're going to start in Supine, so lying down on our backs, letting the soles of the feet touch, and the knees fall out wide. Now, if this isn't a comfortable place for you to start this morning, you can always bring the knees together and take the feet to the outer edges of the mat, pressing the lower spine into the mat. Just closing down the eyes here, and just taking a moment to notice how the body's feeling. Maybe taking one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest as we start to notice the breath. Breathing in through the nose. And audibly exhaling through the mouth. Spending these first few moments checking in with the body. And maybe thinking of an intention for your practice today. On your next inhale, bring your hands to the outer edges of your knees. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Rise your forehead towards your knees and engage your core. And exhale to release. We're going to start by squeezing our right knee in towards the chest, letting the left leg go out long, flexing both toes, and really squeezing that right knee in towards the right armpit at just an angle. You can wiggle it from side to side, just feeling into that hip space. On your next inhale, squeeze that knee in towards the chest a little bit further. And then on the exhale, we're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee, shuffle that left hip underneath, and draw the right knee over to the left-hand side. Our right arm is in a cactus position, and we're gazing towards the right-hand side of the room. Maybe closing down the eyes here as you soften into the twist. Breathing here for a couple more breaths. Really trying to press both shoulder blades into the mat. We're here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, draw that right knee back into center. Squeezing both knees in towards the chest. And then switching aside. So this time, left knee draws in towards the chest. Right leg goes out long. Really giving it a nice big squeeze in towards the armpit. Maybe wiggling from side to side. Feeling into the hip space. One breath here, inhale. Exhale, right hand on the outside of the left knee. Shuffling that right hip underneath. And drawing the left knee over to the right hand side this time. We can take a cactus position, so bending at the elbow on our left-hand side, and we're gazing towards the left-hand side of the room. Now, if like me, you're doing this flow first thing in the morning, don't worry if you're feeling a little bit stiff. And you might not have as big a rotation in the body, but that's okay. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale, come back to center. This time, squeeze both knees in towards the chest. Again, rising the forehead towards the knees and engaging the core. We'll then bring the hands to the back of the thighs and gently rock and roll up and down our mat. Just building some momentum here, waking up the back body. And we'll eventually come to cross the feet, come all the way over the knees, maybe shuffling back a little bit to the center of our mat. Take the knees wide, toes untucked and touching as we stretch the arms forward and soften into our child's pose. So we're taking the forehead to the mat, maybe waving it from side to side, giving yourself a gentle head massage. As we soften the chest down towards the ground. On your next inhale, gaze forward. Creep your fingertips towards the front of the mat. Lift the tailbone towards the sky. And then melt the chest down. Forehead touches the mat. For your Anahatasana, your melting heart pose. Now you can bring those knees a little closer towards each other if having them too wide feels not particularly comfortable for you. So we're feeling that energizing curve through the spine. Rising up onto the fingertips and really just waking up both sides of the body, facilitating a deeper space to breathe. Take one more deep inhale here. And exhale, pad the hands back, sit back to the heels, and just feel into that child's pose again. We're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, rocking up to our tabletop position. So ensuring our shoulders are in line with our wrists and our hips are over our knees. We'll begin to move through our cat-cow. So inhale, press down to lift up, opening through the chest. And exhale, dome the spine, tucking the chin towards the chest and taking the gaze towards the belly. Inhale, press down to lift up, opening through the heart space. And exhale to dome. Really feeling that space between the shoulder blades expand. So we can move through these two motions in our own breath now. Maybe you want to introduce a bit of variation, so pressing back onto the hips, or maybe rocking the weight forward over the wrists. Listening out for any creaks and cracks, just waking up the body. Making sure you've gone one way and then the other, just to keep the body even on both sides. And then we'll all meet back in our tabletop position. We'll just take a couple of wrist stretches. So fingertips pointing towards the outer edge of the mat. And we're going to gently sway side to side, feeling that lovely opening through the forearm and through the wrists. Breathing here, just moving with the breath. And then we'll rotate those hands so our fingertips are facing our knees. Gently pressing our weight back to our heels. And again, feeling that lovely, juicy stretch down the front of the forearm and into the wrist. When we're ready, we'll all meet back in our tabletop position. So shoulders in line with wrists, hips over knees. We'll just take a couple of stretches to wake up the upper back and the shoulders. So together, we're going to inhale, lift the right fingertips towards the sky. And exhale, thread the right hand underneath the left armpit. Inhale, press down to lift up, rotating from the center of the spine. And exhale to thread. So these are our little pulses here. Inhale, press down to lift up. And exhale to thread the needle. This time, right hand comes all the way under left armpit. Right cheek finds the mat. Maybe creeping those left fingertips forward. Just maximizing the stretch in the shoulder. Breathing here, our right cheek pressing firmly on the ground. We'll take one more breath here, inhale. And exhale, left fingertips come back underneath the shoulder. Press down to lift up. And exhale to release. We're then going to stretch our left toes towards the back of the mat, finding a gentle calf stretch. Really feeling it through the hamstring, through the feet. We'll be here for one breath, inhale. And exhale, kickstand that right leg. So taking that calf out to the side and then sweeping the left arm up and over. You can take the arm all the way over the head, really to maximize that lateral stretch. Opening out through the chest as you dial the heart towards the sky. One breath here, inhale. And exhale, fly that left hand all the way back down to the mat. Coming to your all fours position, we'll take a little cat-cow to reset the spine. So pressing down to curve the spine and lift up. And exhale to dome. Moving straight onto the left-hand side. So inhale, left fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, left hand under right armpit. Inhale, press down to lift up. And exhale to thread. One more time. Inhale, press down to lift up and rotate. And exhale, this time, left hand underneath the right armpit, left cheek to the mat. Maybe walking those right fingertips out just to maximize the stretch. Our left cheek is pressing firmly on the ground and our tailbone is lifted. We'll be here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, creep those right fingertips back underneath the shoulder. Press down to lift up just the way you came, gazing towards those lifted fingertips. Taking our nice supported Vashisthasana on the other side now. This time, our right toes find the back of the mat. Finding that gentle stretch through the calf, through the foot. Take a deep breath here, inhale. And exhale, kickstand that left calf this time, sweeping right arm all the way up and over the head. You can really banana that arm, dialing the chest towards the sky, pressing into the outer edge of that planted foot. Trying to close down the ribcage and press the hips forward. One more breath here, inhale. And exhale, sweep that right arm all the way back, coming back to your tabletop position. Again, take your little reset. And this time we'll tuck the toes, press the hips up and back, and find our first downward facing dog. So you can really start to pedal out through the feet here. Really trying to send the chest towards the thighs. Bending the knees as much as you like to think about your chest-thigh connection. Drawing the heels down to the mat as we soften through the shoulders. Find a moment of stillness here, really softening through the shoulders, pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. On your next inhale, gaze forward. We're going to step our right foot and then our left foot to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. So our feet are hips distance, deep bend in the knees, taking hold of opposite elbows as we sway in our ragdoll. So letting the head hang heavy and just wafting from side to side. Again, finding a moment of stillness in our forward fold. Head hangs heavy. We'll interlace the hands and bring them to the base of the skull as we gently roll up through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, and the head arrives last. Together we'll inhale, rise the hands towards the sky, lightly touch the hands together, and exhale, bend the knees, Uttanasana, forward fold. And we're going to take a twist here. So inhale, right hand to left ankle, deep bend in right knee. As you exhale to peel up through that left arm in a twist. Now don't worry if your right hand can't reach your ankle. It can definitely be on the calf, just to give you that extra little bit of lift. I'm really trying to take that gaze up towards the ceiling, but if that's too much, you can just gaze at your feet. One breath here, inhale. And exhale, release the bind, come into your forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins, look forward, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, bend the knees to fold. This time, left hand to right ankle, deep bend in the left knee as we peel up through the right arm in our twist. Again, we're really trying to dial that chest towards the sky, rotating from the center of the spine. Opening out through the chest, and also all the way down the back of the legs. So really feeling that lovely calf stretch. We're here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knees to fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Look forward, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And then exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. This time our fingertips find the floor. We're going to take a huge step back with our right foot. Lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes as we press down to lift up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So our left knee is tracking in line with our left ankle, pressing up and out of the hips. Keeping the neck long and lifting up, taking the fingertips towards the sky. One breath here, inhale. Exhale, come to frame that front foot, and then peel back. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Now, you can keep a deep bend in that front knee, fingertips either side of that front shin. We're really trying to draw the left hip back and right hip forward here. Breathing here, just feeling this can be quite an intense stretch, especially in the morning. So we'll just take a forward fold. Inhale, lift the gaze and lengthen. And exhale to bow. Like a wave, we'll just move through these two motions. So inhale, press down to lift up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And exhale, frame that front foot and peel back, half split. Inhale, pressing down, lifting up out of the hips. And then exhale, frame that front foot and peel back. This time we'll pad the hands forward, planting down into our right hand. Option to keep the back knee down or tuck back toes, lift back knee as we press down to lift up in a twist. Again, rotating from the center of the spine, gazing towards those lifted fingertips. We're only here for one breath. Inhale. And then exhale, left hand comes inside of the left foot, heel toeing the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Maybe swaying backwards and forwards here before we lower the back knee down, untuck back toes, and arrive in our lizard lunge. So your option here to use a block or come down onto the forearms. Just letting the head hang heavy. Don't worry if this is where you are. Just sending the breath to create some space. We're here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, tuck back toes, lift back knees, step back, high plank. Shifting the weight forward. Together we'll lower knees, chest and chin all the way down to the belly. Zipping those elbows together, rolling the shoulders up, back and down, lifting the chest in cobra. And then we'll exhale, roll all the way back, over the knees, tucking the toes and lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here, softening into the posture. Moving straight onto the left-hand side. On our next inhale, gaze forward. This time, step the left foot, then the right foot to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Look forward, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale to fold. Root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana, rippling up through the spine, taking the arms wide, lightly touching the palms together before we exhale, bend the knees, folding from the hips. Fingertips find the mat. This time, we're going to take a huge step back with the left leg, lowering the back knee down, untucking the back toes, pressing down to lift up as we arrive in our Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. So you're really trying to find space between the shoulders and the ears here. Lifting and lengthening. We're here for one breath. Inhale. Exhale, come to frame the front foot and peel back, half split. Now remember, you can keep that deep bend in that front knee. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale to fold. Like we're moving through honey, we'll move through our waves. So inhale, press down to lift up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, press down to lift up. And exhale to fold. This time, pad the hands to frame the front foot. Option to keep the back knee down if you did on the other side, or we're planting down through the left hand, tucking back toes, lifting back knee, pressing down to lift up and arrive in our twists. Rotating from the center of the spine, gazing towards those lifted fingertips. We're here for one breath. Inhale. Before we exhale, fly right hand inside right foot, heel toe the right foot to the outer edge of the mat. Wiggling backwards and forwards for just a moment before we lower the back knee down and untuck the back toes. And again, maybe lowering down onto the forearms, or you can just stay up on the hands. Just remember to respect the difference between both sides of your body. One side is always going to feel a little tighter. We're here for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, tuck back toes, lift back knees, step back, high plank. Shifting the weight forward. Together we'll lower knees, chest and chin all the way down to the belly. Zipping those elbows to the sides of the body, rolling the shoulders up, backing down, lifting the chest in cobra. And then we'll exhale, roll all the way back, over the knees, tucking the toes, and lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Together we'll take a spinal roll, so rippling forward vertebrae by vertebrae, coming to your high plank, shifting the weight forward. Together we'll lower knees, chest and chin all the way down to the belly. Just taking the forehead to the hands and wiggling the hips from side to side. And we'll just take a last chest and shoulder opener here. So first of all, rising up onto the hands, pressing the forearms down into the mat so they're parallel, like two train tracks, in line with the shoulders, lifting the chest forward, coming into our Sphinx pose. So we're really trying to press the tops of the feet, thighs, and hips into the mat, pulling forward, opening through the chest. One breath here, inhale. And then exhale, release, forehead finds the hands, wiggling the hips from side to side. We're then going to take our right cheek to the mat, cactus our right arm. So a cactus position is bending at the right elbow. So bending the right elbow, right cheek to the mat, taking a deep inhale here. And exhale as you roll onto that right hand side. Option to touch the left toes behind you. Your left hand is really being used as a lever here. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, release, come back to center. Again, wiggle the hips from side to side to reset the spine. And then left hand finds the mat, left cheek finds the mat, cactusing the left arm. Deep inhale here, and then exhale to roll onto that left shoulder. Stacking the hips and maybe touching those right toes behind. We're here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center. Forehead to the hands for one last time. And then we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press all the way up and back through our tabletop position. Tucking the toes and lifting the hips up and back for a last downward facing dog. So really sending the chest towards the thighs, pressing down through all 10 fingers. Together we'll inhale, gaze forward. Take as many teeny tiny steps as you like to come to find a seated position at the top of the mat. So feet planted down firmly on the ground, one hand to each knee. We'll inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get there, just planting the body into the mat. Starting to quieten down the mind. We're going to take our hands to opposite elbows above the head and just windscreen wipe the knees from side to side. Softening through the hips. Your option for a final happy baby, so taking hold of the outer edges of the feet, tucking the chin towards the chest, maybe swaying side to side. If happy baby isn't there for you this morning, you can always take your hands underneath your bottom, flexing your feet towards the sky in a gentle inversion. And when you're ready, releasing. Just taking a moment here to lie on our backs. If you'd like to take a Shavasana, now's your time. You can pause me and spend a couple of moments softening into the body and quietening the mind. However, if you're in a rush this morning, you've already given this time to yourself and you need to get on with your day, we're just going to draw the knees in towards the chest, bring the hands to the back of the thighs, rock and roll up and down our mat, coming to cross the feet and meet at a seated cross-legged position. rolling the shoulders up, back and down, grounding through the sit bones. Together we'll inhale, rise the arms towards the sky. Exhale, draw them down to our heart center, joining the palms together. Bowing the chin towards the chest. Namaste.